Hey guys, Tyler here. Welcome back to some Bloons TD6 achievement hunting. Today, I'm going to take on the 2 megapops chimps achievement challenge. I have never done this prior to this video, with or without the achievement. It is a commonly sought community accomplishment, but even then, I never participated. This is a challenge where you have to have a single tower deal over 2 million damage in a single game of chimps. And that does not include free play. By round 100, this tower should have done 2 million damage. Now, in chimps, there is about 2 million and 40-something thousand damage to be had, meaning that your tower has to get between 97 and 98% of all damage in chimps mode. So this challenge could be very easy or very hard, depending on how you approach it. Usually, people will just beat it on logs chimps with some stupid OP tower that can almost solo the game by itself. And I didn't want to do that because everyone's seen enough of logs. I thought I'd go on Alpine and try out the bomb Blitz, which is a tower that got buffed during my time away, and I wanted to revisit it to see how good it really is in soloing a game of chimps mode. It was probably the most memed on tower around the time that I was still playing Bloons TD6 way back in the day. But they buffed it so that the bomb Blitz itself does 5 layers of damage instead of 1. Massive increase in damage. So it's not relying on just its life loss triggered ability as its only form of damage. It actually has utility now. So that means the cross path of this guy has to change. It used to be 205, now its preferred cross path is 025, where attack speed can help this guy do a lot more damage overall. So one of the weirdest parts about this challenge is actually having a starting game that can, defend the first rounds of chimps, but won't get in the way of your later rounds. Because you have to remember, every single tower you can't sell, and you can't move without Chinook, so you have to make sure it doesn't steal pops from your tower, and it's a very careful game about that. So I start with a couple dart monkeys and a recently buffed base spike factory. The base spike factory is awesome at, well, not only catching leaks from the dart monkeys in bottom tower, but also dealing with early round camos. I just think that's excellent. Also getting down to Striker Jones because he has bomb tower synergy with attack speed and range and other abilities. Also popping some black balloons with his occasional ability. Nothing wrong with that. So we're working our way up to recursive cluster, and we're going to get a few buffs on this guy. And hopefully by the time that happens, there won't be any balloons making it to the dart monkeys. Because again, we have only 40,000 spare damage to work with. Every single balloon these dart monkeys pops makes it less and less likely for me to actually get the achievement. And now that we've got the recursive cluster, you can basically say that we're safe until the Moab. I actually figured the recursive cluster could solo the Moab, so the next thing on my agenda was to just get a simple camel village, maybe some jungle drums on it, and just coast it out to bomb Blitz. I was hesitant on the Alchemist because while the Alchemist buff is insane on the recursive cluster, immense damage, I was a little bit worried about the Alchemist potentially stealing damage from the bomb Blitz. The best thing I could do is have it hang out towards the back of the track and hope that balloons don't make it far. But I'm like, well, won't balloons just make it that far? Won't they say, lol, you tried, but yeah, we're making it that far, especially stuff like black balloons. But it turns out Striker Jones just allows the recursive cluster to pop black balloons starting at what, level 7, level 9? I don't know, Striker. But he helps that out, so the Alchemist really won't be dealing that much damage. So I realized that a little bit late, aka around the time of the Moab, and only have money for AMD. Now, thankfully, the AMD buff is just enough to deal with the Moab shell, as it does increase damage against Moabs and ceramics. That was a close one. If I didn't have that, I probably would have lost against the Moab. So now that we have everything sorted out, we're going to get a good Alch buff on the recursive cluster, and I'm not going to get perishing potions just in case, again, if the Alchemist starts dealing damage. Wouldn't want that to ruin my 2 million pops. And with that, we're just coasting and going to bomb Blitz. So in this period of waiting, I wanted to talk about something I've been asked a lot, which is the fact that the company that makes this game, Ninja Kiwi, has recently been acquired or bought out by a group called Modern Times Group. And I guess people wanted to hear my opinion on all that, and I never really responded. because at the end of the day, it's not necessarily my business, but it is a bit of a concern from people like myself and other content creators of this game if buying out means that the game's going to go down the shitter, if it's just going to become a super sellout, poorly managed, series of games. What does this mean for Bloons TD Battles 2? And after reading into it, I would say I'm optimistic about the buyout. The reason Ninja Kiwi gave for the buyout was that I guess they wanted someone basically on the marketing side of things. They've never done that before and just always have the game spread through the word of mouth, which makes sense. I'm pretty sure 99% of you have heard of this game through either a friend or a YouTuber or streamer. It's actually probably only that, if what they say is true. So they're hoping this company would help them in that regard and stay hands off as far as the game design goes. Now I'm crossing my fingers as a player that they do stay off as far as, or hands off as far as the game design goes, because Ninja Kiwi seems to be good at this, and they seem to have communicated to the player base that that is the case. Unless if it's in writing, it probably doesn't matter, but maybe they did get it in writing. I mean, again, that's not necessarily our place to inquire, and we'll have to just hope and see through the next few months and years that the integrity of the games stay intact. I'm rooting for it. I'm optimistic. I think Battles 2 will be a lot of fun. You know, I mean, it's going to be a hard game to balance, and that kind of is the core of it, but I'm going to focus on having a good time with it. It doesn't look like it's going to be sellouty. It doesn't look like it's going to be scammy in any way. And, yeah, we're all going to have a good time playing it. So that's my thoughts on the subject. Definitely am curious to hear yours, although it's probably been talked about a bunch already. I'm excited for this and future games. And now it's round 63, and we still haven't gotten Bomb Blitz. So that's a bit of a cause for concern, but thankfully we are really good against the ceramics, even with just recursive cluster, and we can acquire Bomb Blitz during the round. And now that we've got the Tower of the Hour, we absolutely shred, and the difference is night and day between the two. So now we just have to make sure that we can be confident in our ability to solo the late game with it. Just acquiring a Bomb Blitz, even on a map like this, is not enough to just get 2 million damage. You have to get support. Stuff like Overclock, stuff like Village Ability, and then even things such as Glue to slow down balloons without popping them. Both Moab Glue and Glue Hose can be helpful for that occasion. If you want, you can maybe go Glue Storm or Glue Strike, but I don't think I did. Then there's some other supports, such as the Sabotage Ninja, and then just some way to deal with round 100 with the BAD, being some sort of Spike Factory or First Strike maybe, but this isn't a map with water. And with all that together, you can only hope they'll be strong enough, but I guess we'll have to see how much of a struggle it really is. That being said, it is shredding these early rounds right now. It is going to be a little bit scarier when it comes to Super Ceramics. The Bomb Blitz specializes a lot less against it, but they definitely buffed the hell out of this tower. Old Bomb Blitz could not even dream of accomplishing something like this. This is just nutty. Permabrew is also another potential for a buffing tower, but it's expensive, so I don't think I afford it during this run. Just wasn't worth my time to try to save up for that. So now while we're saving up for other abilities and buffs and all that, might as well talk about the future of Bloons content on this channel. Notice I'm just using this video as a vehicle to talk about other subjects. I figured in the future I want to go for other achievements. There's a couple interesting achievements left still, maybe 3 or 4, nothing too big, but something that I thought that could be fun to watch. I am hoping to kind of take these achievements and beat them in a way that maybe other people haven't. This one maybe isn't super unique or as hard as I expected, but it was fun because, I mean, Bomb Blitz, who doesn't love it? I mean, Bomb Blitz and Chimps mode, anyways. I thought that'd be fun, and maybe hitting up some future content with Super John Bombo. Just any way to casually play this game. I think I've found that since my break, that playing this game competitively is really boring. If I want to use my brain, I have so many other games I'd rather play. Mainly the puzzle games I've been playing. They've been a lot more big brain and a lot more cerebral. And I found that this game is just a lot more fun to play casually, where, again, if I want to think, I'm going to solve some puzzles. Room to Grow has been a series I've been really enjoying doing. It has awesome puzzles, and they've been very tricky and fun to do. And I think if you guys enjoy thinking material, you would definitely love that game. Even Luck Be a Landlord, that one hits a bit more casual side, but it's got some thinking, and it's got some amazing payoff and dopamine and all that jazz. Highly recommend the two of them. And I'll be experimenting with other puzzle games and strategy games along the, down the line while I'm waiting for a new update. Because at the end of the day, like playing this game casually. In the meantime, waiting for update stuff. I might try to do some more special events with Super John Bomba where we have some sort of challenge face-off. I thought that was a really cool concept. I bet we could streamline it in the future. Maybe try to work in the banter at least a little bit. While mingling in strategy and putting other stakes on it, or just having a different way to play it. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can certainly approach the content, but just ways that I think they'll be fun to me and be fun for you guys to watch as well. Part of the reason I think the face-off worked so well was because the challenges were a lot more faster pace. So it made for a better viewing experience, I think, just going a lot faster through relatively easier challenges. I think it could be a lot of fun to do some sort of meta stakes in the future, where maybe I do a stream where I play moderately easy challenges, but every time I lose, I gift a sub or some other punishment of some sorts. Just thought it'd be fun to change up like that, because I'm constantly trying to innovate in the Bloons scene, and honestly, almost everything in this game has been done already. So if you really want to do something new, you got to mix it up or just wait for an update. So that's my stance right now. Wouldn't want to be pushing out too much of the same old, same old. And back to the game, it looks like things are going at about how you'd expect. We're destroying the rounds with grouped balloons due to the insane amount of group damage. And the hardest stuff is usually the balloons with a lot more HP, like the fortified ZOMGs. That being said, we still take it down without too many other towers stealing pops. It's nice to have a giant army of towers just all the way in the back, chill and not doing anything. But they are doing a little bit more as time goes by. 98's a little bit crazy. I think 99 might be scary too if I'm not careful, but it's really 100 I'm mostly worried about. For 100, we got to bring out our old friend, the Spike Storm, because as of now, we don't really have enough damage to deal with this BAD, but the ability on our Spike Factory should tie things together very well. Now, I remembered something only during the round 100, and that's that Striker Jones is not helpful just for black popping power, a little bit of range and attack speed. I totally forgot that its level 20 ability buffs the shit out of bomb towers. It makes them deal 2 times the damage and 2 times the pierce or something like that, something crazy. It does a lot. It does a lot, and I use that to my advantage, take it down, get like 2,035,000 pops, and just absolutely crush the achievement. We can look at all my towers here. Sorry, 25,000. It went by too fast. And as you can see, we crushed the challenge. Honestly, easier than I expected. I was genuinely thinking this was going to be harder, but if I knew going into it, I probably would have picked a harder map. But we got the achievement, and that is it for the video. Thanks all of you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. I got some other achievements I'd like to take on in the future, and I hope to see you all there. Peace.